next year at this time, seeds will be federally illegal. If they got to start sourcing their seeds differently or they got to start paying so much more, you're going to see that price increase on the shelves, and this is going to be nationwide.
Non-apologetic nonsense.
As I'm sure you saw, the government is back open. Don't notice a difference myself when it's closed, but that's a whole nother thing. What does matter is what they included in that bill to reopen the government. So it was Team Red that put in this law and got every grower in the nation alarmed, okay? They have just outlawed seeds.
Seeds.
Over the past 10, 15 years, you can buy seeds in the U.S. because they contain less than 0.3 or 0.03% THC. Before this, what we all had to do was we had to order the stuff overseas. It would like go through customs, and then what you would get would be like a CD case, and you'd pull up the CD tray, and it would be like a baggie of seeds taped in there. Or you'd get like a flash drive, and then on the screws, there would be glue on it, on the head, so you could see if somebody opened it. And then you'd open it when you get it, and you never know how you're going to get it, right? You're going to get a package that you need to rip apart and find these things. So you open up the USB drive, and then there's no circuit board or anything. It's just a baggie rolled up. That's how everyone used to have to get like feminized or autoflower, whatever seeds you're looking for. The government's bill was aimed at like Delta 9 or Delta 8 or whatever you call it.
You haven't seen that Delta 9? Like they just sell it at smoke shops now.
Yeah, see, it's a weird...
When I stopped by before I came here, they had a new sign out. It's like, Delta 9 THC sold here.
They're trying to close this loophole right now in the government where, okay, your Delta 9, it's a very low THC content. It still is THC, and it's in every plant, right? But they can concentrate it through this loophole and really raise that THC content. But it's a nasty, artificial kind of high. I believe what this was aimed at was to close that loophole of gas station herb, right? But they specifically said seeds. And the way they worded it, because, you know, the argument is, well, seeds don't have that threshold of 0.3% THC. They said seeds because you have to, with this new bill, you have to take into account its final form. And that seeds grow up into something that has more than 0.3% THC. But they specifically put seeds into the bill. Now, it's already passed, it's already law, but it doesn't go into effect for 12 months. So I'm assuming that something will be done and people will fight back. But already growers are stocking up, buying thousands of seeds, you know, because you now have these American companies who are working on genetics. You got like Royal Queen Seeds, Fast Buds, even local companies like Grow Lahoma. And Grow Lahoma already sees the writing on the wall because they won't even let you buy with like credit cards anymore. You have to buy with like crypto and stuff. Yeah, so I don't even know. That's how I used to have to buy Kratom. Was that you'd have to do it through one of these alternative payment methods because they didn't want to be tracked and they don't want to report and this and that. People are stocking up, and your seed banks, they're running big sales, and nobody knows what's going to happen. But effectively, at this moment right now, next year at this time, seeds will be federally illegal. What do you think about that? They specifically said seeds. This isn't an accident. I read the part. I didn't read the whole bill or anything, but I did read the couple paragraphs. It said seeds because their final form is over 0.3% THC. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty dumb. And I mean, they can outlaw it all they want. It's still going to continue. It's not going to put a stop to it.
Yeah, but like your average... Well, let's just say your average pothead is a retard. And like, you know, you don't get as much bag seed as you used to, you know.
No, not at all.
But even the ones you do get, you don't want to grow. Because you don't know the history of the genetics and they're not feminized. So you might put all of this work into it, few months, flip it to flower, and it be a male. Because you don't know until then. Right. You know, it starts developing little ball sacks, little pollen balls. we rub them. But nonetheless, so it's very nice that people can buy feminized seeds or autoflower, right? So you can know whether you're getting a photo period or an autoflower. But it almost seems like they're trying to target and shut down the home growers, is what it really is.
Yeah.
Even though, like, if it depending on your state, our state, you can pay, who knows, $100, $300 a year, and then you can grow 18 plants, technically. 6 vegetative, 6 flowering, and 6 seedlings and or clones, I believe is the rule. But you can only have 6 flowering plants at any given time. And if you get that license, you open yourself up to inspections in your home from the health department. Now, I don't know how much they are or aren't doing that. You know, everybody I know who does this, well, the health department's the last person they're going to tell, you know. But these seed banks, I don't know. I expect it to go bananas. Because what if I was in their shoes, I would ramp up production right now and I would just flood the game. You know what I mean? In case all of this does go away. But I think it's cool that we have companies over here who are running their own genetics. So they're crossing this with this. And that actually goes to a funny point. You know, you still hear people saying this shit now. I like sativas better. I like indicas better. You're not
fucking mixed, yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting a pure indica or a pure sativa. You don't even know what you're getting because, like, let's say Royal Queen seeds, okay? Let's say they get, they like strawberry cream pie punch from, you know, Grow Lahoma. So they have to take Grow Lahoma's word on what it's this crossed with this, right? And then they're going to do their own crossings. Everything is a hybrid. I don't even think you can honestly say this is indica dominant or sativa dominant anymore. It's just a plant. Smoke it. You know what I mean? It is just literally that. Do you go to the dispensaries at all?
Yeah.
Have you been seeing the rise in spray pack?
Spray pack. Extreme
flavors that you wouldn't otherwise see. Fruity Loops, Campfire, S'more, Strawberry, Dragon Fruit, Apple, Oatmeal. You know, like these out of this.
Think so, but I don't really pay attention. I order it offline, but I just go to the flower section, so I don't really scope out the.
Okay, well, this was more of a problem on like the East and West Coast. Really, the East Coast, like New York. But spray pack is just like it sounds. The people, your manufacturers, they're going to take your herb and they're going to spray it. Now, they'll tell you they're spraying it with terps, but A, don't spray shit on the weed, and B, it's typically not terps, it's artificial flavoring. Okay? And that's how people are getting popcorn lung, getting a lot of respiratory issues, is because they're literally, think potpourri.
Yeah.
And then that opens itself up to you also putting like a Delta 9 or a spice or something to make people get higher so you can claim it's a higher THC percentage and make more money. But spray pack is here. And I know the one dispensary I go to, they have it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's not going to say spray pack on it. I mean, there might be some fine print that says added terps for flavor. But if you see anything that isn't like a natural flavor or like 3 flavors combined, that's spray pack. So I keep wanting to say Skittles, but Skittles is actually a real strain. But it'll be like a vanilla cupcake or root beer float or... You know, I mean, how do they get that? This is a plant that comes from the ground.
Right.
You know, and anytime, and screw all that, like, everybody will tell you, oh, this herb tastes just like oranges. Or, oh, it's so fruity. But, I mean, it's really not. It tastes like a plant.
Yeah, I've really only had one that actually had some flavor to it. It's like a chocolate peanut butter, whatever. And it had a hint of like a chocolate taste to it. That's about the only one I've had. That
now,
like
chocolate, I would argue that they could maybe do something because when I think of chocolate, I think of dirt. You know, chocolate is a natural thing. But what was the second thing? You said chocolate what?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, there you go. Where they get peanut butter. That's a spray. But yeah, and I see the ads for it. They'll have these guns that look like airbrush guns.
Yeah.
And then you buy this artificial terps. And then you essentially hang the herb, aerosol spray all over it, and that's what you're smoking. Dispensaries got to get their shit together.
Yeah, that's probably all the prepackaged ones too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I usually go over to Joplin. I think I'm gonna start going over to Carthage because it's an actual deli style. Like they have the big jars there. It's not, they weigh it and bag it right there in the store.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it got shipped from whatever that big place is in the
Ozarks. Let you
Ozarks.
smell it and everything. Let you see what you're getting.
Yeah, that's better, I'd say, at least. But here's the thing, too. If this seed law goes into effect, all that's going to raise. Think about that. If they got to start sourcing their seeds differently or they got to start paying so much more for it, you're going to see that price increase on the shelves, and this is going to be nationwide. But I do see people arguing, saying that that's not what it says and this and that, but it does seem to be more of like the tribalism thing, where it's like their side that passed this. So how dare you say anything bad about a bill that their daddy passed, you know? So we are seeing a lot of that and that's just politics as a whole.
Yeah.
And I've said it 100 times that you just tried to take a hit off my earbuds there.
Yeah.
And I've said this 100 times. If you're a grown man and you follow a politician like they're your favorite sports team, you are an absolute dork. Let alone you buy a politician's merch and don't ever speak to me again. Oh my God, where'd you get them fancy shorts? Jesus.
Champs.
Yeah, those fucking shorts look like a spray pack, dude. Fucking
I got
no
a lot
one
of
can see
compliments
it.
on these shorts.
Fucking Hawaiian. Do you now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, I do not believe you. But yeah, so if nothing changes, seeds will be illegal. And that just sucks. I was going to end it there, but I have one more thing to say. Right now, being able to get a high quality setup and grow your own herb has never been more obtainable. For like $1,000, you can get a real setup that like multi-tint that you can do whatever you want in. And for like $300, you can get a little rig setup that's going to have its flaws, but it's still going to produce herb that if you choose to, you can go straight organic and you can know exactly what goes into it, you know, farm to table. And they're essentially trying to take that away from us. And I don't know about you, but I ain't going down without a fight. Let's pull our guns out and let... Good night.